you tell us about this Hall of Fame you're building out called History of the Game?
Yeah, man. I'm excited because it's been a project of passion. I think everybody who played in the league got game, and everybody should be in the Hall of Fame. I think when you make it to the NBA, that's like the pinnacle, and it's not the ending part of your journey. So History of the Game is really a storytelling museum where every player get to tell their story. They get to talk to their fans. They get to present their merchandise. And so it's like, how can we all be on one platform where people can go and look up stats, you know, for debates, ask the AI. We got AI. So for me, it was just like, how can I include everybody? Because everybody got a dope story. You may not have had like the most storied NBA career, but you may have had a crazy college career, a crazy high school career, a street ball. And so basketball need a platform, and everybody got a voice and got a dope story. And so I built this platform so I can just know more about everybody as a fan, you know what I mean, of the game.
Yeah, that's dope. So Michael, a friend of mine says this quote, like, and it's true, like every NBA player is Michael Jordan in their hometown.
Bingo.
Right? So no matter where you're from, you are, in your high school, if you make it to the NBA, you are that. Yeah. Some places more than others, like Los Angeles, a lot of you guys, but there's a lot of small towns, small cities around here that person is Michael Jordan in his hometown. Right. So to your point,
I mean,
it's a great platform.
Yeah, especially like from where you from and your story, like a lot of people pioneered and like are groundbreaking dudes coming out, you know, coming out their region, coming out of Dallas. You look and say, okay, who came after me? So they give us a chance to also highlight the dudes from our area, the dudes who made it make it, the dudes who probably went to college you hoop with, but it's just for us to start highlighting people in our culture. That's a part of our story, but also got dope stories themselves.
Sure.
Because how many times you see documentaries? Like your documentary just came out.
It did Memes and Nightmares, now streaming on Hulu.
But like I wanna go to one place and watch all that shit, knowing that it's coming from basketball, knowing it's coming from the people who kind of pioneer in culture. So that's what I've been working on, man. I'm back outside though. What's up, my boy?
King, yeah.
BD is back outside. So BD, obviously you're LA basketball royalty, one of the greatest players to come out of the city.
No.
So
don't do that.
I ain't gonna say that. I'm chilling, bro. Just let me live, bro. I'm looking at him like, yo,
y'all
what?
stupid.
That's crazy.
So BD, one of the greatest players to come out of Los Angeles, obviously basketball royalty out here, revered. Whenever I walk to the Crossroads gym, I got to see the big jersey hanging up. You know, we try to give y'all work. We usually fall short. But nonetheless, who's the best hooper to come out of LA that didn't make it to the league, in your opinion, that you've seen in your time?
I mean, you would have to say, I would say like Kenny Bruner should have made it. Shea Cotton should have made it. Corey Benjamin should have had a much better career. Damn, who else? It's a bunch of dudes, man. Tito Maddox should have had a better career.
Yeah, we were talking about Tito on Playback recently.
Yeah, Tito should have Evan Barnes. Yep, y'all great. He should have been there. Man, there's so many dudes like that should have made it. I feel like Ed O'Bannon should have had a better career. Charles O'Bannon should have had a better opportunity. Not a better career, but a better opportunity. You know, for so long, LA used to get hated on. Yeah. You know, until, like I would say, our generation came along.
I heard Corey Benjamin mention, I believe.
Yeah,
we
played in the AAU tournament. When I came out here in high school, we played in Long Beach. And like I said, people thought I came up with the shit. Like people coming at me like I started like LA Hoopers was sophomore. Like, no, that's just what we heard.
Okay, right? You said we had backyards.
Y'all did. Palm trees and
not
shit.
Big.
And y'all want to gangbang.
Y'all can't. I remember when y'all came out here.
No, but it wasn't like, but dudes could really good at basketball. So to his point, I'm pretty sure there are dudes that that hoop that, like every fucking place that you've been, some guys that's like that, right?
Yeah.
Trust me, around my way, to your point you just made, like I was just tall, man. I play hard. There was some dudes that I was like, yo, how the hell he ain't in somebody's college right now?
Sure.
Or why he ain't in the league like that? I'm like, so trust me, it's all of that going on, man. But now you look at these dudes, man, and when you're able to dissect the things that maybe went left, right? you able to look at it and be like,
That's what
yeah. So for me, mine was most of the dudes that's around the way we ain't got grades, right? You grew up in the inner city, grades ain't important. SAT, ACT was a real thing. So a lot of dudes had to go to junior college where I'm from.
Yeah.
So, and it was going to junior college within driving distance to Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
My thing was, whether it was a semester or a full school year, them dudes was always back and they never left.
Yeah.
When they come home, they drive home for a weekend and never go back, shit like that. So my thing was, I know I ain't got my grades, but whatever I got to do to get the fuck out of Dallas,
I got to do that.
Because this is what I've seen, right? I can't be in driving distance to Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that. So 2 weeks after I graduated, I was on the plane. I was in Cincinnati.
Bingo.
So you learn from the people that came before you that was more talented than you were, that what opportunities might have missed them.
No, for
So
sure.
you learn from that shit, man. But that's dope platform, man. It's dope ideas, but y'all motherfuckers in hoop out here ain't never took nothing away from you. Yeah, y'all motherfuckers
in part 2.
Huh?
I need to be in part 2 too.
The what?
The show.
Oh, the show. Come on, man. I'm waiting for you. I already wrote.
Man.
I wrote your episode. You know, this dude.
WTF,
he blessed me on the WTF. He had one of the highest performing episodes. He a real actor.
Funny,
Yeah, goddamn clown. His environment. His fucking, yeah.
Can we get the arena on the show?
You missed what he just did.
Man, can we get the whole arena? Let's do an arena episode.
We would.
Nah, that's just
Yeah, that shit.
I need my SAG right though, unfortunately.
Come on, let's get it
Break.
cracking. Man.
But so you talk about building the history of the game.
You gonna charge him the daily rate?
I can't.
Damn, Joe.
I'm union. I can't get booted. I can't get booted off the show.
I go
I'm just kidding.
Shit, Joe got
talk to my lawyer,
nominations and everything.
But you talk about the history of the game platform that you're building, obviously saluting the game, saluting all the players that came through the NBA. And we talk a lot nowadays about player legacies. But how much are players concerned about their legacy and how much should they be?
I think you always, your legacy gonna live as long as you live, and whatever imprint you put on people, that's kind of like how it's gonna get carried. I think, your legacy is important, but it's also like the circumstances. Not everybody gonna get the blessing to shoot the ball or come in and be an asshole. Yeah. You know, it's like, damn, this dude gets to be an asshole and I don't, right? It's, it's so much shit that's weighed into it, but I think it's going back to what Kmart is saying is like, you already the Michael Jordan of your neighborhood. You already the Michael Jordan of your city or your family. So I think it is important, especially like, we living in a stat era. And so stats and where you gonna rank, all that shit, the way I'm looking at points now is just making me think like, but what kind of game did they have?
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's a big part of your legacy when, especially thinking about history of the game, is what's your style? What's your story? What's your journey? Right? That people can identify and be like, oh shit, Norris Cole, I already know how you get down. Now I want to learn your story. And so I think this generation, they out there hooping, but they also they playing team ball.
Yeah.
It's real good team ball, real good team basketball, but a lot of these dudes need to start thinking about how to carve out a nickname or a personality, even in the smaller roles that they had, because that's kind of like how we had to come up. We had to make a name for who you were, so you can even get on the court, or you can even get, you can even get signed. So I think these dudes need to. Go ahead.
You don't think they should work on mastering their craft first before they worry about their legacy?
Yeah.
I think worry about the game first, and then the game organically some certain things that happen. Obviously, you got off the court stuff you can do like social media, but as far as in the context of sport, worry about your game first. When you worry about your game, the legacy part will take care of itself.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Because that's, like you said, I didn't have the success you had, but where I'm from, the journey that I had, people saw me from being a regular average dude to being a star, and they appreciated that. And I never thought about what my legacy was gonna be. All I was doing was getting up every day, lifting weights, running, my weight vest, shooting, and then somehow my game helped develop, and people people, recognized it.
Well,
I wasn't trying to make them recognize it. I was just trying to be the best I could be, and success happened. And I think some guys is trying to be a legend before they putting their work in.
Well,
Yeah. Go ahead, Shot.
Yeah.
I believe strongly that people think that legacy has something to do with recognition.
Say it again.
Yeah.
Has something to do with recognition,
True.
but it doesn't.
Right.
Legacy writes itself.
Likes.
As I move and walk through this earth, what I do and who I touch and who I experience is a part of my legacy. When I'm done doing what I'm doing and I can have a memory about it, that's my legacy. Everybody I touch, my family, kids, all that shit. Like you said, if you're focused on a pre-written message of this is what I want to be and you come up short, that's disappointment. But if it's writing itself as you go and you know where you want to go, you're gonna leave a legacy. The legacy you just gonna look behind and be like, yo, I left all this
It's
shit.
okay to be disappointed. Like if you're trying to reach some shit, it's okay if you don't
That's
miss
the part of your legacy. Your legacy
part of it,
is
though.
disappointment. I didn't make it in the NBA. Does that mean that I don't have a legacy? Maybe not in the NBA.
No, but it is your legacy is what you make it, right?
What
It's
you want it.
It's what you make it, and it's unfortunate that we just keep going back to the media space is great nowadays, but it's unfortunate that the younger generation sees only success.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Everything
that's
is about a double click, a like, or a view.
Or manipulate
Right.
their stats.
So they manipulate numbers and view, whatever it is to make it seem like, okay, this person is successful or this is right now. So they don't, like just for Norris's point, in like from Dayton,
Yep.
right? How many people from Dayton before you made it to the NBA that you could touch, that you knew directly?
I had my teammate, Daquan Cook.
Yeah, that was right
He
before
was
you.
one and done. No, I wasn't one and done. That was the first person I
That
saw.
you seen, right?
where I'm from that got drafted.
He's
Yeah.
your peer.
Yeah, that I
but
that I
before
saw.
you, there was,
It was some back in
but
the day,
not
yeah.
direct that you could
None
touch.
that I could touch and see.
So him is just a journey, right?
Yeah.
He don't know where it's gonna end up, right? For a lot of dudes nowadays, and there's some dudes that we from our like, I'm going to the NBA, right? I wasn't one of them. Norris wasn't one of them. I'm pretty sure the NBA was the end goal for you because y'all grew up around certain environments and certain things and certain people, so it was tangible. It ain't that way for a lot of dudes or a lot of people, but prior. Nowadays, it's right in your face. Everything is right in your face, so everybody think it's fucking tangible, right?
Right.
And then when you don't get it, to your point, Nick, the disappointment comes in, and they don't know how to deal with it because everything you've been posting and everybody been liking it and fucking viewing it, and you think that's, to your point, they think that is their legacy and success, right? But it's not.
And I say this about the failure part. I will be the testimony and the example of what a failure is and what it looks like and how you the redemption story of that, how the comeback story for that, how the perception of that looks. My mom and my daddy they cussing right now because my daddy like, you ain't never been no fucking failure. I said, but I failed the mission. I had a mission, I failed the mission, but I'm not gonna say I'm a failure, but the perception that's pushed out based on the success I'm having with the show is that I'm still a failure because I can't be accepted as a success. This is success. Being with y'all. Y'all, to me, were success stories. You played longer than me, you did more than me. I look up to y'all's success stories. But when people look at me, they're like, you're not supposed to be there.
No.
You ain't do enough.
That's
But I tell them, but we still have a story.
National championship.
But we still have a story. But we still have a story. Yeah.
That has never happened in life.
in their thought.
You won a
process.
national championship.
We all have stories, though. We all got stories.
And your redemption story
Y'all
crazy.
can have-
Everybody gotta watch you when you.
But we talk about the perception.
Facts.
The perception of how everybody look. They don't want to hear that story because it's not popular. The new kids don't want to be like, you ain't Norris Cole. Who is you? You ain't him.
Well, speaking
want to hear it.
Speaking of somebody who never made the league, I got a profound amount of respect for all you gentlemen and everything that you accomplish. And I think at the end of the day, it's really how other hoopers feel about each other and the respect that you guys give for them. But let's keep this thing moving because we do got NBA Finals to talk about.